Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the final word. West Brom 0, Everton 0.
Done it?
That's it. That's the final word. One of the worst games of football I've ever watched in my entire life.
Yeah, it was.
It was. It was awful, wasn't it? I mean, I know people will go, well, this game was worse because we got beat, but just for technically,
just for a game of football,
footy, just like, if you've been switching over, oh my god, this is terrible. If you didn't have anything to do with it was such a poor game of football. But it's a point. Hey ho. Didn't concede.
Yeah, but what? I've seen that, but but we'd rather us play brilliant and got beat 3-2.
No, I'd rather play brilliantly. No, I'm not criticising. I'm just.
It was a terrible game.
It was just a terrible game.
In
isolation, you could listen. In isolation, it was just a really bad game of football. Where, but in I suppose in the larger context, it's another clean sheet. It keeps the unbeaten run going. And we said last week that if we were to get 4 points out of these 2 away games, we'd be quite happy. We're still on for the 4 points.
I was thinking we'd beat them.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah.
But then Bournemouth are wide open, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, I mean, it was a weird game because obviously we've come off the back of the Chelsea game, 0-0, and people are sort of putting the 2 games together, and I think that's a dangerous thing to do. Chelsea were brilliant, and it was a very much of backs of all performance at Goodison Park, and we got a point out of it. I was quite happy with that, regardless of anything else. This one, I think fans maybe thought we'd go there and be a little bit more expansive, a little bit more open. But obviously, the team he picked. I mean, picking 5 at the back. And it felt like a proper 5 as well, not like 3 full centre backs and 2 wing backs. It felt like a real 5. I mean, that sets the tone, really, doesn't it?
Well, I think he was matching them up, wasn't he? I think they played 3.
They played 5 up front.
They played 3 at the back, and I think he was trying to get us further up the pitch. That's my way of looking at it. I think he was trying to get us further up the pitch. The other thing is personnel as well. Listen, I wouldn't have probably gone with 5 at the back, but I think it's important. I think he realises it's important to get the likes of Michael Keane going. When he had a good game Saturday, so what you do, drop him from the game on Monday because Holgate and Williams both have been doing well in their back 4, so do you leave one of them out, do you leave both of them out? So I don't know whether he's trying to get games for them players as well to get them up to speed. I'm not sure, but I think he just thought we'll go 3 at the back and we'll try and play higher up the pitch. It didn't pan out like that, but I don't know. It's one of them, isn't it? I think his idea was, pretty much we'd said the same in the preview, try and keep it flat for 15-20 minutes and then try and take over. We didn't do that. We kept the game flat after the initial Rondon chance in the first few minutes. Other than that, they had a Dawson header, didn't they, and then nothing else.
No.
But we didn't have anything either, so it was just a terrible game of football by 2 sides who were either tired or just shit.
Yeah, I mean they've been on a really long run of not winning games.
17 games,
which has obviously got them in the bottom 3. And again, I think that's why fans are saying, why aren't we going there and exposing that? Why aren't we having a go at them? And I could see, first half like you just said, keep it tight, get to the second half, they'll start thinking, right, we've got to have a go, because they needed the points more than we needed the points.
Of course, yeah.
And I don't know whether the fact that it shouldn't take this, but whether the fact West Brom didn't really come out second half, and we sort of just said we were waiting for an opportunity, and an opportunity never got going. But having the 5 at the back, I think, because the full-backs never really got going forward to any real degree. So it meant that we only really had, if you've got Sneijder put in front of them, then you've only got 4 players then, haven't you, really, in attacking positions, and that sort of made it impossible, I think, just having those 4 players against all their players.
I think the makeup of our side is, listen, my argument with, and I've had a couple of disagreements with people on social media, is it wasn't fucking Barcelona before Sam Allardyce. We weren't this free-flowing attacking side with 8 players up front, and it just wasn't working. He's come in and changed it. This has been Everton since Ronald Koeman took over, to be fair. Listen, we watched games like this last season with Ronald Koeman as the manager, but Middlesbrough away was nearly as bad as it was horrendous. Was nearly as bad as this. Stoke away, games like that, games we lost earlier in the season. So, under Martinez was the same. Just the makeup of our team are not built in a certain way. So me personally, I don't put the blame at Sam Allardyce's door.
No, I don't.
What I look at it is our players and their desire to want to get. I don't understand if you're an attacking player why you don't want to get in the box. They kind of go so far, and I'm not having that. Though the manager's told them to run the 70-yard point, then don't go any further. I don't believe that for a minute. I really don't. Players just don't want to get in there. It's just the makeup of the team, and I suppose he can't do much with that, can he? Yeah, you could argue you could put Lookman in there, but do you trust Lookman away from home to work? I don't.
Well,
Lassett you would, but
no, but I mean the players that were on the pitch. I mean, you've got obviously in the attacking positions Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who looks isolated, but also looks very tired, and he's obviously also very inexperienced. So that's a problem in that terms. Then you've got Sigurdsson, who is not someone who dribbles past people. He's not that kind of player. No. He likes to find space and then do something with it. But if he's on his own, then there isn't going to be any space because there's nowhere to go. There's just going to be 3 men. So you've got them up front, them in the forward positions. Obviously we have Balassi, who's just come back and he's in a floating role. And you know what I mean? It's just really there's like you just said, there's no real sort of pace there, or I know with Balassi there's, but there's no sort of. It's just it's almost like a one pace setup, and when you're trying to play 4 against 6,
West Brom at 8.
Well, exactly. So I think it just made it very, 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 very difficult for us to go anywhere with the ball, and we, in the attacking sense, we were just coming up against a brick wall. When Tom Davies in there as well, you've got another player who he's in and out of form, and he's trying to find form, and he's trying to carry the ball, but again there's nowhere to carry the ball to because there's not necessarily anyone ahead of him on the pitch. So like you just said, it's about the makeup of the players. Sometimes you need players to knit it all together. I think Wayne Rooney's a very good player at knitting things together because he'll drop into the spaces. Garner's got that
goal threat.
Yeah, and Garner's got that energy that pushes you forward, and that starts you on the right foot. Garner wins it and gives it, but what he does is he gives it almost a lot of times on the run. So the person he's giving it to is moving. So you're moving forward as a team.
He goes forward as well. He doesn't break into the box a lot, but he drives you up that pitch. And he can recover.
You've got Sneijderlin, and Sneijderlin just sits. That's the job he's getting given. But because he's one paced, when he gets the ball, he just gives it.
I still think you look at him and you just think he's perfect for the sweeper.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
I've always thought play 3 at the back. You
just play him in the middle of it and just give him the ball and go, just bring it out and win it and bring it out.
But what of Balassi's return?
I thought he was good. I did. He was in and out, which you'd expect. But listen, his strength was there. The tricks were there, And what he does is he buys his shot. Ironically, I thought all our attacking impetus went when he went off. I thought it disappeared. Because you look to him, every time he got it, you're like, something can happen. And they were scared of him. You could see when he got the ball, he was doubling up and he was doing the step overs and all that. And I just think if another couple of weeks when he's got a little bit of sharpness, he will be the asset we need. We need someone who's got the strength to just knock people out the way, which he has.
He buys you a lot of fouls as well.
Buys free kicks. He buys you time because you give him the ball and he can keep it for a few. A bit like Ross does. It's the thing with Ross Barkley. You give him the ball a lot of the time, he buys you that a few seconds because he'll step over, he'll drag it one way, he's strong enough to keep it, and he allows you to get into the positions. What we've got to work out is how we can get more people in and around the penalty area when someone like Bolasie got the ball, and that'll be key. But it was a big plus for me. See, I mean, I was surprised he started. I thought he'd come on, and to be honest, the way the game panned out, probably him in the last half an hour might have worked better. But he'll feel great for having that hour under.
But
he
won't.
Well, he won't. I'll be walking like the Tin Man today. But it done him the world of good. And that back heel in the second half to John Joe Kenny was delicious. But no, that's a big plus, isn't it? Getting him back into that squad, because he's everything we haven't got. You know.
Yeah, I thought he did really well for someone who'd been out for a year and had hardly had any game time under his belt. I thought they've obviously kept them to the optimum point.
Yeah,
you know, got him really, you know, because the sharpness was there, and he delayed a few sort of crosses that he probably could have got in first time. But again, it's about getting the rhythm, isn't it? And that kind of thing. And but it's a real bonus. And as you say, he floated around sort of in the space between the midfield and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and he sort of almost took a lot of. He was almost like a buffer for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So, and I think what was good about that is that you could play another centre forward up there and not rely on them to be the person to hold the ball up. He's almost like the person in front to hold the ball up, so it goes through him. And I thought that was really good, because physically and pace wise, we haven't got anyone really who matches that.
No.
And maybe we'll see more in that role that we've seen. You know, when Koeman played against Man City away, and he was almost a foil for Lukaku that day. So maybe we'll see more like that and get him more central, get more out of him, left, right, and maybe that'll bring his game on a little bit more. And he'll maybe that'll help him bed back in a little bit, maybe, rather than just being on the wing and trying to take everyone on. Being part of the game might help him re-establish himself a lot quicker.
Yeah, I just think you can never have two very good players, can you?
Yeah.
He's a very good player, and I think we'll see the best out of him over the next few weeks when he starts getting back up to fitness, and we'll realise what you do have when he's in the side. He'll be frustrating at times, because that's what kind of player he is, but he's also brilliant. He's got that ability to worry teams, and we haven't got too many of those at the minute. I mean, the other problem for me yesterday was, and it's week by week and it's game by game, and people probably think I'm just picking on him, but it's Martina at left back is just I've just refused now to clap a lad who just kicks the ball out, because that's all he can do. He's terrible.
He's not good, like.
He's terrible. What it is 1v1 he's alright, he's okay just blocking people and getting a foot on, but where it really shows up, and this is hampering us, is that when we try to break, we can only get so far up the pitch and it stops and it goes back. And so, like yesterday, they didn't even worry about his side, because they knew that he's not going to run down that side. So we're all the impetus then is on John Joe Kenny, but they doubling up on him. Then all of a sudden that wing was blocked off.
Yeah.
So Everton had nowhere to go, because they had no midfield players who were quick. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin was isolated, and Bolasie's trying to float round. Then he took Bolasie off and put Lennon on, who didn't nearly get in the game. He done one thing where he got a free kick. And we've got Niasse comes on, and in fact Niasse created probably our two best chances. Yeah, one himself and one where he cut back and he had a shot that got blocked. Other than that, we offered very little, and that's the worry, isn't it? Is that as you're trying to go through that team, who's going to come in to make those
I mean, that's the thing though, isn't it? It's like, it's treading water, isn't it, at the moment? I mean, and that's where you'll be looking at these points and going, well, I'm happy with that, because at the moment we're treading water.
Yeah.
You know, we're putting square pegs in round holes, and because we've got to, and you know, you do look at that team and think, you'll go, that's a very strange team, but if that's all he's got, then you know that's it's a case of getting those players back. Baines apparently is suffered a recurrence of the injury, but that to me is just a sign that you've got to go and buy a new left back. You've got to.
Day one. You
know, that's the thing. Now that's a position where I go, you look at someone, you go, it's not even, for me, it's not even a question mark. It's Leighton Baines is the wrong side of 30. You know, he's going to pick up more injuries And you need Leighton Baines now to be going, well, I need to be pushing to get my position back. And if if you've got a top class left back in there, not just a filler, not someone who just fills the gap, someone who's the first choice left. We need a first choice left back now. That's not Leighton Baines, because that's the way the game's going. You know, there's a few out there. Whether we could get them, I don't know. The likes of, you know, Chilwell's, and a lot of people like Tierney up at Celtic, but unfortunately a lot of people like Tierney up at Celtic. Luke Shaw, whether he comes available.
Session, Fulham.
Yeah, there's a lot out there. I mean, as I say,
kid at Bristol City.
City. Maybe that's the route to go. Go to somewhere like him, who looks a young, hungry player who did, you know, would love to step up. And Bristol City are probably prepared to sell him once. I don't know. Maybe I don't know whether they sell him in January, but we need something, because for me, it's a position crying out for a first choice, absolute first choice. Because if we've got a lad playing there who's not even a very good right back playing left back, that's just like alarm bells, isn't it? And it's.
Don't get me wrong, 1v1, he's done well on the defensive side. He's done all right because he's stopping stuff.
But as you just said, though, it's not about that.
It's like playing with 10 men, because
when you're going forward,
we can't. But that's part of the game.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
People can't moan that we can't attack. We're not creating anything. We're not creating anything because our only real outlet is blocked off, because we're not using this whole other side of the pitch, because we can't, because the person who should be there can't get past because he can't kick with his other foot.
Remember what our biggest attacking asset used to be?
Exactly, our full-backs. The left side, Pienaar and Baines, you know. Pienaar was amazing.
Not even that, we were renowned for having the best two attacking full-backs, which basically other teams decided, you know, the likes of Spurs and that. Not saying they copied it because of us, but they obviously, you know,
a way around it. Yeah, it covers a multitude of sins. If you've got two, like, look at City, have just gone and spent, was it 300 million on fullbacks? That how much it was, or 150, whatever it was, 150. It's Marino one, 150 million on fullbacks.
Yeah,
and we had two who were comparable to who they've bought. Seamus Coleman on his day is as good as Kyle Walker on his day when he's flying. The left Baines isn't anymore, but he was better than anything around. Danny Rose and Ryan Behave. Baines was miles better than both of them in his pomp. But he's, like you just said, he's 32. The injuries are coming thick and fast now. It's a chunk of each season.
Not even the injuries, it's getting over the injuries.
That are the problem. But I still think if you got someone who's young and hungry, when Baines is fit, you can play Baines in front of him at times to give you that left side of balance. Because, but that left foot he's got is brilliant, right? And if he's only having to do 40-yard runs instead of 90-yard runs, he becomes a different player, and then he can be in and out and in and out.
We've said loads of times, though, you bring a young lad in and he's laying in the position off Leighton Baines. I mean, that's a big thing. It should have happened.
Well, Seamus Coleman said that he watched Baines, didn't he? He said I just watched him because he was unbelievable, like the way he got forward. So I looked at it, watched Hibbert for the tackling, and not knowing who's behind him on the right hand. But he watched how Baines flew forward and he tried to develop his game like that. And then John Joe Kenny, he's watched Coleman and Baines, and he's tried to develop his game. So if you bring someone in and they're looking at Baines, then if you can develop off him, then that's fantastic. You've got that. But there's people like Luke Shaw who might be available now. I don't know. I'm like that with him, but I know that he's a good attacking fullback and he's got a good left foot on him. And if Everton, just imagine, right, the way our team was yesterday, which isn't blessed with loads of pace, but if you had someone mirroring John Joe Kenny on the left, or Seamus Coleman, whoever, doing that same down that side with that left foot, how much of the pitch does that open up? Because they're thinking, hang on, which wing here? You're giving them time to think. But yesterday, they just went, forget that ain't happening on that side. We don't need to worry. And then the pitch you're playing.
We've seen that, we've seen that in 3 or 4 games.
Exactly. It's becoming an issue now at Anfield, trying to get a draw. So that's fine. Martin had done a great job that day. He did. At the weekend, just 1v1. But you can't expect against good sides. We're not going to cross halfway. Even
from a defensive point of view, that's a bad thing, because if you can't push teams back offensively, then you're under pressure. Then you're putting you under pressure straight away.
That's all they did yesterday. Why do you think early on we couldn't get out of our own half? Because they just pushed Martina right back, and he just kicks it straight. He doesn't kick it down the line. Just kicks it straight out. And it's not his fault. He's doing the best he can. But
It's a question. It's a question for the. It's a question for the recruitment.
The recruitment team, how they allowed it to happen first and foremost. It's every game it just makes.
And the mad thing is, Martina has improved under Allardyce. So how bad was he under Koeman? And yet he was the backup for Baines. Incredible, absolutely incredible that they allowed that to happen. They allowed three left backs to go on loan, and they didn't put Luke Garbutt in the squad. It's mad. It's absolutely mad that they would allow that.
And it's cost us. The amount of games it stopped us earlier on when Baines wasn't playing well or whatever, or he was knackered, he was dead on his feet. You know, you're having Wayne Rooney going and sitting in there because you're trying to help out because he's not. You know, Baines is playing through an injury, you could see, and it's got worse now, and it's just stupid. But that stopped. Just getting back to what you were saying before, that stops us as an attacking force because it's taken away an area where instead of you saying, well, no, because we've got John Joe Kenny attacking and we've got, say, Baines, we've got Leighton Baines attacking, then we've got Sigurdsson and we've got Balassi and we've got Calvert-Lewin and Davis. All of a sudden, you're talking 6 attackers. But when you've got Martina in and then Kenny's scared to go, it quickly flips to 4 and really 3 because Tom Davis isn't as high as he should be. So it's Balassi, Sigurdsson and Calvert-Lewin, and then Sigurdsson's getting bogged into that mid. So it's really Balassi and Calvert-Lewin against 3 giants, which they are at the back. So it was no surprise, really. Shocking.
And it doesn't help with the creativity, does it? Because like when if we get the ball and we are on the left side and you're looking for your full-back to go bomb past you and give you the option, and if he does and you give it to him and then suddenly he's not taking the full-back out on the outside, he's got to check inside, and it just puts it. You know, Sigurdsson yesterday, I felt sorry for him because when he got the ball he's trying to get his head up, but he's almost like a quarterback, and they're all rushing him straight away to take the ball because if he's getting his head up and he's got nothing to give it to because of the lack of top attacking options.
Look in the first half, how many times it didn't really happen second half because they doubled up. How many times did Keane sweep some fantastic balls to Kenny?
Right.
We never had that option. Holgate tried it twice, and no one was there because Martina didn't even go, and he's looking as if to say, "Why aren't you?" But if Martina goes bombing down that left-hand side, I don't think they give him it anyway because they think, well, and the one time I remember Sigurdsson giving him it on the outside, he stopped, turned back and whacked it back into our half, 40 yards back up the pitch, and you're going, that's done nothing because you've made a run to open up space, but you haven't done anything with it.
It's a football. It's a footballing problem rather than a personnel problem. If that makes sense. Like it's Martinez it's not. He is the problem, but it's a bigger problem. You need to have a left back who can get up the pitch for the sake of the way you play.
He's playing out. Listen, I'm saying he's the problem. He does his best. And I wouldn't accuse him of not putting an effort in because he does put the effort in, but he's not in his right position, and that position should have been sorted by Ronald Koeman. I had this argument with someone a while ago. I think in the modern game you can't get away with a left back or a right back who aren't predominantly specialised.
Left-footed or right-footed.
Yeah, you can't.
I think we don't live in an era where you can get away with having a right-footed at left back. I just don't think you can. You need to open the pitch up as much as you can now. You need players are so quick and they're so savvy, and they get shown all the videos and all the flip books and everything about what players can do. If a player on the left or on the right can't open the pitch up 2 ways, then you've got a real problem.
If you're a winger running at Cuco Martina, right, you know you can go on the outside of him because how's he going to tackle? He's having to tackle right foot outstretched all the time because he's not really going to want to use this because it's not predominantly. You don't slide with your wrong leg. You know what I mean? So if you're running at him, skip on the outside, he's got to almost block you off like that, which is why he never does.
Yeah.
It's an issue. I think if you play someone there, you'd have to play a right-footed midfield player there. Someone, because Milner done it for Liverpool last, even though they slated him for it, because he's a footballer. Because midfielders are generally better footballers. But he does use his left foot, Milner. You know, so
Yeah, it's listen, we're struggling at the moment for pay. I mean, in some positions we're overloaded, and some positions we just don't seem to have anybody, and it's going to be, you know, we just need to address that and hopefully get that sorted, and because we don't have too many like for like. You lose a Garner, and you've got Snyder playing sort of at the holding role on his own, and you know, he's looked better in the last 2 games, hasn't he, than he did before that. He sort of knuckled down a little bit.
And the thing again, he come on against Swansea. Come on, Swansea as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Didn't he? Was right. So he has looked better in. Oh no, he went off against Swansea, didn't he? Really start. But he has looked better, hasn't he? Lately, certainly Saturday against Chelsea, I thought he was good. When Garner went off, he went even better. Ironically, at the weekend. Yesterday, I thought he played all right, but I thought maybe if we had different players either side of him, he might be even better. I don't know, but I just look at him and sometimes I just think you're too slow with what you're doing. It's got to be a bit quicker because you're allowing people. That might be as well because other people around him aren't doing what they do, and he's doing everything he needs to do, which is win the ball. But it was even the one like in the last minute. We had the ball on the edge of their box for Kenny and it went up in the air and he's under. It's like that, back to goal. Instead of dealing with it and just hooking it back over his shoulder, he lets it bounce, they nip in, run forward and get a corner from it. And you're like, if you'd have just dealt with that, putting it back over your shoulder where we're attacking, that doesn't become an issue. There you got a corner, it's the last kick of the game. Just little things like that because he's a bit too slow with his reactions. But that to me is that again, personnel maybe with him. Is he quick enough? Is he a defender?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that need to be sorted out. But I think the main thing is that the manager knows what needs to be sorted out. He didn't come out and go, "Oh, it was amazing, we defended." He did say we were good. It was a good point, but he sort of made his excuses why he said it was a good point. The personnel and all the. Listen. If he wants to play more expansive football, the next thing will be, can he play more expansive football? And then you can judge him on is he the right man? Listen, the rest of the season for me is about getting to 7th, trying to get 7th place. Don't forget we finished 15 points ahead of Southampton. Was it last season?
West Brom.
No,
Southampton overleaped them, yeah.
So we got that. We got that last season by a mile. So let's see if we can do that again.
What are we? 6 points off Burnley. It was 7th. Yeah. They were miles ahead of us a few weeks ago.
Exactly. So let's just see that. And if that's the fight we're going for, then I'm perfectly happy with that from where we were. The season, I'm not saying it's a write-off, but that's, you know, at the beginning of the season, we all had these hopes that we could move the team on to try and challenge for the top 6 European positions. Didn't work out like that. So we've got to go for the best thing, which is getting back to that 7th. And listen, I was looking at the table before, and I was looking at who Liverpool have beaten in the top half. I think they've only beaten 2 teams in the top half, right, so far this season. Now, I'm just picking them because they're going for the top 4 and they're all singing and all dancing and they've beaten teams. What was it? They smashed like 3 teams 4-0 away from home, whatever. Yet they've only beaten 2 teams in the top half, and yet they're like the best thing since sliced bread. And that's because when they go away, they play exactly the same way as they go at home. No, I'm not saying we're anywhere near as good as them or anything like that. But what I'm saying is that shows the Premier League. You can be flying and not hardly beat any of your competitors.
Before yesterday, they'd won 2 games more than Everton. 2. And we have been horrendous. Okay, today it's 3, but we've been terrible.
Yeah,
and
but this is something what we sort of spoke about last season. You don't need to beat the teams who are the top 4 as such. You need to beat everybody else, and if you can pick up those wins at home or away, and that's the next thing now. To go to places, to go to, you know, whoever and beat them. We didn't do it in this game, but let's see if we can do it in the next game, because that's the focus. That's the top and bottom of it for me. Let us know your thoughts in the comments anyway about this. It was obviously a terrible game, but you know, we all watched it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We did, didn't we? Know what I mean? Boxing Day.
Yeah.
You know,
some chocolates. Watch a load of
shite.
You normally do. It's either a film or it's Everton. It's one or the other.
I watch good films. Don't know what you. I watch good films. You watching the Eagles? You like watching the Eagles landed, something like that? Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Let's know what's in the comments anyway. I will see you later.